When it comes to effective and confident communication, a lot of the people misunderstand that it's all about your accent, grammar, and vocabulary. But in reality, it's quite different. Effective communication and confident communication is shaped by the energy you carry when you speak, your self confidence, your self image, as well as the environment you're in. Today, I'm going to share these 5 universal laws when it comes to communication. And in the past, these laws have changed my life. Since when I've understood and tried applying these laws into my daily communication, it just changed how I speak, how people perceive me, as well as make me a confident speaker. And I'm sure that if you watch this video until the very end, you will never speak the same again. Especially the law number 4 and 5, I can guarantee you that you would have never heard about it before. So let's jump into it. Law number 1 is your voice is an instrument, not a habit. One of the coolest concepts I've learned when I was trying to be a confident speaker is from someone called Vin Jiang. It's quite popular on social media. You can go and check it out. He says that compare your voice with 88 keys of the piano. People often get used to playing just 5 keys of the piano. What I mean by that is they will use the same tempo, same pitch, same voice modulation in all the situation, no matter if it's a serious conversation or energetic conversation. The moment they try to get their pitch up or get the energy high into different conversation, it start to feel that they're faking it. One thing that I would highly encourage you to get into your mind is that you're not faking it. These are just unfamiliar things that you have never tried before. The thing that I learned is in order to become a versatile communicator, you have to change the pitch, the bass of your volume, as well as the modulation based on the situation you're in. If you're talking with your friends and it's an energetic conversation, have a high energy. If it's a serious conversation at work when you're just talking about the losses that company had over last quarter, get your tone down, get your energy down, and be more serious and present in the conversation. Once you understand this analogy of using all the different skills that you have with your voice, it will just change your speaking personality. For example, if this is a high-paced, energetic video and I speak like, so today in this video, I will tell you how you can use those 5 universal laws into your daily life. You will just skip the video in the very moment. But on the same time, if I just be engaging and high pace throughout the conversation, it will just keep you engaging. It makes your communication more impactful as well as it makes you more influential when you change the energy and when you use all the facets of your voice in different parts of communication. One of the things I also noticed that people think that they are faking their voice because they are just used to their original voice. But let me tell you one thing, it's not your original voice, it's just the voice you're habitual to. When you're 2 or 3 years old, you just lost your original voice. And based on the people around you, the influential people around you, like your parents, some movie stars, you start to imitate their voice, their accent, and their tone. And that's something that you're habitual to. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It means that it can be changed. So one thing I would like to tell you is don't get too much attached to the way you speak currently or the way you like talking or having that accent particularly in that very moment. There is always scope for improvement and it's never too late to start doing the change. The second universal law when it comes to communicating, and I think this is one of the most important law, is learning does not change you, doing does. When you get to know or when you understand a very cool or crucial concept in your life, it just gives you satisfaction. Let's say you read a book on swimming. Let's say you read 3 pages and now you know theoretically how to swim. But until you practice, you cannot be a perfect swimmer. It's same as communication. No matter what values you get from, let's say, ChatGPT, YouTube videos, or even on my video, until you practice them, you will never change. So don't just gather your knowledge inside your head. Go out there, practice it. Only practice will make you perfect. And that's just one step at a time. You keep going. And as I was saying, that getting the knowledge or gathering the knowledge in your head gives you satisfaction. But that one missing link which leads you to fulfillment is practice and only practice. So make sure whatever you learn from this video, try to practice them from the very next day or very that moment with your partners, with your family members, or even at work. The third law when it comes to become an impactful or confident communicator is new habits needs new environment. Let's say you learn that you have to be more energetic when you are speaking with somebody, or you have to articulate more, or you have to open your mouth more when you're speaking. And let's say you go home and try it with your partner. What will they think? This is the worst I have ever seen you speaking. Do not speak like that. And that's it. your confidence just hit the rock bottom. The thing is, whenever you're learning something new, it comes to communication or anything for that matter, always try to practice that in a new environment, in new people. Let's say you go to a usual cafe to grab your coffee. Try going to some new cafe and ask them into your newly learned communication technique that, hey mate, how's the cafe? Something like that. I know it was funny. I've never tried this before, but yeah, something like that. If you change your environment, you don't get the fear of being judged. And if, let's say, in the new environment, they don't get any like negative implications or negative impressions from them, those habits will stick with you. But on the other hand, if you're extremely energetic when you go back home directly, your people around you might think that, what's wrong with you? Try to be the normal person, because change is often not accepted by the people close to us immediately. One of the things which I've learned is, if you want to try these new things with the people around you, with your family, and if you don't want to try it with strangers, there is something and a very crucial psychological step which is called priming. Priming basically does is, you just have to go out there, tell them that these are the new things that you're learning and these are the new things you're trying. So you would really appreciate that if they can help you with the journey to be a better and effective communicator. Trust me, this one single line will change their perspective to looking at it, and they will have more context of why you're being so weird. So make sure you do either change the environment to try these new things you're learning, or do the priming with the people you already know. But the bottom line is, please give it a try, practice and try. Now this brings to our law number 4, which I said at the start of the video that you may have not heard before, because for the longest time I was unaware about this law. The law number 4 is, nothing about your present way of speaking is permanent. There is always scope for improvement. All it takes is one decision. Most of the people make this mistake that they start to overanalyze themselves and try to tell themselves that they cannot be confident speaker, or English is not their first language, so they will always be hesitant, or they will have to always think in their mother tongue and then translate into English, or they cannot be energetic speakers. But that is not true. You can take the decision right now, tomorrow, next week, or the week after, or even next month. All it takes is you have to make a strong decision and commitment that yes, you will start this journey and you will try to become a better version of yourself every day. All it takes is one decision and one commitment from you, which can do right now if you want. People always ask me, or my students always ask me, I speak this way, is it possible to change? I ask them the very question that, are you ready to change the behavior which is leading you to speak in a certain way? If the answer is yes, then yes, you can change. All it needs is new behaviors, improved habits, following the tips and tricks you learn, and that's it. You just have to practice, and that's your way to success. This brings us beautifully to the last and the final law, which is, your energy is your influence. When it comes to generosity, people always think that people are always generous with their time or their money. But there is third form of generosity which a lot of people just neglect, which is the generosity of energy. I'm not patting on my back or being overconfident, but in this video I'm trying to be very generous with my energy. I'm trying to be generous with how impact I could get or how impactful this conversation become. But on the other hand, if I drop down my generosity of energy, I would sound like this. Thank you for watching the video. In this video, you will get to understand different facets of how to become a communications expert. I can talk like this and record 20 videos and conserve my energy. But what it will lead to is having the video less engaging, less influential. It will not be useful for you. And that is why in the beginning, it might be slightly challenging to be generous with your energy, but it's like fitness. The moment I remember that when I went to the gym for the first time, even a 5-kilo dumbbell used to feel heavy. But I keep going, keep practicing, but now I can lift heavy. And by the way, I'm not bragging about my lifting rights, but yes, I can lift heavier than 5 kilo. It's all about practicing and building that fitness. You cannot be a marathon runner overnight. You just have to keep going. And the moment you get or you learn this craft of being generous with your energy, you'll be most influential and most impactful communicator in the room. And let me tell you one thing, you don't have to always be very generous with the energy, but whenever that conversation is going to be very crucial, very important, let's say it's your presentation at work, or it's your, let's say, end of the year presentation in your school or college, you have to be generous with your energy. If you're generous with your energy, the impact and the confidence that you're gonna resonate with other people, it's gonna be on another level. So these were the 5 laws of impactful communication. I hope this video helps. Please make sure you save this video and send it to your friends who are on the journey of becoming a confident communicator. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.